minutes of the previous meetings, or any additions or corrections or discussion?
Not here.
We get a approval, motion for approval on that?
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
We got the Buxton presentation, but we're waiting for them to call.
They'll call us back in a minute.
So, regional profile.
That came from the, I went to a meeting that Dee put on at People's Service Cooperative a few weeks back, and that regional profile was available as part of, that meeting.
Very interesting.
So that's just some light reading.
Yes.
And then we got the Why Small Business Matter.
That was a reprint from, Public Management magazine that I got, and I thought that was kind of important for us to take a look at too.
Nice little read. We got any other business while we're waiting for?
Well, do you wanna jump in, Chris, and just talk a little bit about what we were doing this morning?
Oh, what we It's been a busy morning. We just
I know,
got out of the
I
other room
know.
and come over here. We met with a firm.
Hoisington Kogler Group.
Kogler Group, who was recommended by the engineering firm about possibly looking at, updating the comprehensive plan that we currently have, since we've outgrown that, and frankly, the way the town's grown, when we've done it, really just doesn't apply. It doesn't give us a lot of direction on some of the development issues that are being presented to us as we speak. I know Teresa's been busy the last week with more development offers or people wanting requests than we've had since 2005, so, which is a good thing, but our master plan just doesn't fit with a lot of the things they wanna do. So we met with them, and they're gonna bring back a proposal, to our March 8th council meeting to present to the council. We'll be getting some feedback before that, or, draft back from them. But then, assuming that that goes through, if it does, the next point would be then we're gonna engage, someone or two from EDA that would be interested in helping, the plan takes 8 to 12 months to complete. They're gonna be pretty thorough on, public engagement, but also from this body, planning and zoning, employers in the area, developers. We talked about, who are your top 5 developers that are knocking on your door wanting to do things. Engage those 5 people that are wanting to develop land around Casson. What is it that's important to them? Does that fit with the city? So basically just engage everybody who has a stake in it. So that'll be coming back with some information.
How old is our comprehensive plan now?
2011.
Yep.
It's
Not that old.
not that old, but we've grown quite a bit in it.
Well, and I was part of that process, part of the question, answer period of that. It didn't seem to really give us a lot of detail. It was a general 30,000-foot view, but it really didn't get down into the details, I think, what the comprehensive plan needs to be for the type of growth we're seeing. One of the good points that this firm just brought up, the gentleman, before he left, he said, do you do amendments to your comprehensive plan? Well, I have no idea. Teresa said no, everybody's like, no. He said, well, really, so if somebody comes and wants to do a development and you tell them no, what are you basing that on? Either it's because of planning and zoning or because of the comprehensive plan that you have, we just say, well, we don't like that business, you're not coming to town. That's not really a reason to tell somebody no. So we really need to have that plan be a working document that, as people are coming in, what doesn't fit our plan, it doesn't fit planning and zoning, but if there's ever an exception, you actually physically make an amendment to your plan, and here's why. That way a developer can't come in and say, no, I'd like to do this, and we tell them yes. Somebody sitting in the back room says, well, you told me no on the same thing 3 years ago, why are you telling them that yes now? So it gives the council, the EDA, the planning and zoning to kind of have something to back up your decision and take away that bias or uncertainty amongst developers. So I think that would be desirable if we engage those developers on, what's important to you, here's what's important to the city, work together. So,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
trying to make it easier on the council and EDA and planning and zoning when you have the public hearings on, to try to eliminate the,
The question.
yeah,
As
you
many.
told Mike no, but now you told this guy yes, so what?
Yeah, this is probably Cody, so you can go ahead and answer, with the speaker button.
Hello?
Hi, is this Teresa available?
Yes, I'm here, Cody.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
buddy, yep.
Perfect. And I apologize if there's noise in the background. I'm actually sitting at the airport right now in South Dakota. So if there's any noise in the background, I want to apologize for that.
We don't hear any.
Perfect. Well, is it my time?
Yes, you go right ahead.
Perfect. So I just want to take a second to really introduce myself really quickly, as I'm not able to be there in person. My name is Cody Gunston, and I'm the director of sales here with the Buxton Company. Now, I just want to thank everybody, and Teresa, you included as well, for giving me the opportunity just to briefly introduce the idea of a Buxton partnership to everybody there in Caston, and really give you a little bit of background on who we are and where we've come from over the past 25 years. And then talk about our overall mission, and then briefly open it up to any questions there. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to yell at me, shout at me, and we can go from there. So just to give you a little background on Buxton and where we are, where we've come from over the past 25 years, Buxton got started in this industry about 25 years ago, working directly with over 3,500 retailers for site selection services. So overall, we essentially play two sides of the fence, if you will, and where I'm going with that is like I mentioned, we work in the private sector with over 3,500 retailers, like your Red Wing Shoe Company, like Marriott Hotels, Trader Joe's, In-N-Out Burger, and 3,500 other retailers, to essentially help them achieve one main goal, and that is going out and finding the next home run location for their brand. But more importantly, it's just helping them to mitigate the risk of opening a poor performing location. So just to simplify that a little bit further, from a retailer's perspective, it's all about customers. Show me where I have enough of my potential core customers living, working, and traveling throughout the city of Caston, and that's where I know I'll be successful in your market. That's exactly the approach we help retailers understand through looking at their site selection. Now, I say we play two sides of that fence, if you will. So take that same information, but spun in a different approach. And for the past decade, so about the past 12, 13 years, we've been working in the public sector. So helping over 750 municipalities across the country, just like Caston, to achieve three main goals through a data-driven, proactive approach. And that is increasing and diversifying your taxable revenue base, strengthening and retaining the existing local businesses, and then improving the overall quality of life for both the current and future residents. So by leveraging that knowledge and insights and contacts in the retail world and working with over 3,500 retailers, we were able to set up our public sector clients for extreme success when recruiting and retaining retail. Now, Buxton's overall solution for the public sector and what we bring to the table here, it essentially is a two-pronged approach. First and foremost, it is retail recruitment. So really being able to identify the gaps in demand in the community, or simple put, is why residents are leaving Caston to go spend dollars elsewhere, which currently, if I look in my database, I can tell you there's roughly $90 million of leakage, which is, again, why residents are leaving the community to spend dollars elsewhere. There's $90 million of free money being left on the table because your residents are essentially underserved in the retail amenities that they prefer day in and day out. So they're leaving the city to spend dollars elsewhere. Now, the second prong of the Buxton solution is business retention. So while we are absolutely looking at recruiting retail and helping the city to grow that retail base, we are not in the business of bringing in new retail that is going to kill your local existing business owners. It's about understanding essentially the gap in demand, why those residents are leaving Caston to spend dollars elsewhere, and then helping to recruit net new retail that's going to bridge that gap and drive more foot traffic back to the city for those existing business owners to capitalize on. We are a firm believer that a rising tide raises all boats. Just to give you a little background on our experience in working in the public sector in Minnesota, I just want to take a step back. We've had significant experience in working throughout that Minnesota market there. Just a couple of clients we've worked with currently as well as in the past are Road Mountain, Minnesota. North St. Paul is a current client. We worked in Minneapolis and we worked in St. Paul for tours and needs. So just to give you all a little idea that we absolutely have the knowledge and expertise in working throughout the Minnesota market for retail and economic development. Now, that was really what I wanted to just kind of high level. I didn't want to take up too much of your morning. Just wanted to introduce the idea of a Buxton partnership and really give you a good idea of our background and where we've come from and how we leverage that background in working with over 3,500 retailers to set up our public sector clients for extreme success when recruiting and retaining retail. So again, like I said, that was really what I wanted to focus on, just kind of give you all a high level background. Does anybody have any questions, any concerns?
I don't think so. You got any, Chris?
No, Cody, this is Chris. We met when you were here, we talked first time. Thank you for the information. I think that was great.
Perfect, thank you.
Do you want him to just address a little bit on the retail leakage and surplus analysis that would help existing businesses?
Absolutely. So diving into that leakage and surplus analysis, so in truth, I believe you have a copy of that.
Yeah.
But essentially, when I look in my database right now, I can tell, like I said, there's roughly ballpark about $90 million in retail leakage. How we overcome that is twofold. Again, the first part is retail recruitment. Bringing retail in is going to bridge that gap. But a very important component of that process is how do we assist the local business owners in capitalizing on that, not only that new foot traffic coming to the market, but also bridging that gap that's not being met. So we actually have all different kinds of exclusive partnerships in throughout Buxton, but one of the important partnerships here is for our proprietary partnership with the largest credit card provider out there. What that allows us is essentially instant access to transactional level data. So I could sit back and look at every single household across the community and tell you, does the husband in that household buy Bud Light or Miller Lite? Does the wife buy white wine and red wine? And so forth. So we can utilize that information to help bridge the gap of that leakage, that $90 million, by showing certain retailers how they would perform in the market because their core customers are living here. That's a portion of cutting that leakage in half. But another part of that is business retention. So by looking at all of those consumer expenditures in the market and where those dollars are going to, we're essentially able to help your existing business owners understand why current residents are leaving, where they're going to spend dollars, how often they're spending dollars there, and what they're specifically buying. And we can do a couple different things with that information is to help your existing business owners understand how should I stock my shelves and end caps to, again, cut that leakage of over $90 million and cater to the individuals' retail amenity needs day in and day out. So again, we're keeping individuals here locally spending dollars versus going out to Mankato and some of those significantly larger areas that have the established retail. So it's not just bringing in net new retail to bridge that gap, it's also helping the existing business owners quantify how can I utilize the Buxton data and Buxton partnership to make better business decisions to essentially cut that leakage and keep those residents spending dollars locally, but also once we recruit new retail to the market, with new retail comes new foot traffic. We are able to help those existing business owners quantify and capitalize on that new foot traffic, again, to help them understand who is that new foot traffic as a consumer. What are the daily retail amenities they prefer day in and day out, so I can be sure to stock my shelves and end caps to cater to those new individuals in the market. Again, just helping them to cut that leakage and keep individuals spending dollars there locally in the community.
All right, thank you.
Perfect. Cody, my name is Mike. I'm on the EDA. I also have the only grocery store in town. I would like to know how I can keep 50% of the population in cash and shopping at my store. I've been trying for 35 years to do that. What's the answer?
I certainly understand that challenge. The answer I would tell you is data. It's not basic demographic data, it's consumer analytics. How do your core customers live their lives and spend their money? How do your core customers prefer to be marketed to? Is it an email campaign? Is it a direct mail campaign? And one big important question is for you, with all of that new foot traffic coming to the market or just coming through day in and day out, how do you capitalize on it? How do you understand who those individuals are, their retail events, to help you stock your shelves and end caps with the right products to cater to that individual day in and day out? That's the level of knowledge and insight that we bring to the table in terms of business retention and helping your local business owners grow and capitalize on more of the market share.
So Cody, this is Chris again. When we met before you to that existing business, you mentioned coming in and meeting with the Chamber of Commerce and doing a couple of Chamber of Commerce evenings where you would actually sit down with individual chamber members to go over that data with them for their business. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So yeah, quite often, and I think we were talking about a specific example out in Kearney, Nebraska, where myself and we actually have an account management team who would work with the city of Caston day in and day out. But we went out to the city of Kearney, and this is something that we provide to all of our clients at no charge. Part of our partnership is we'll quite often come out and essentially hold a business forum night is what we call it, or basically we will gather all of the existing business owners in one room who want to participate and want to understand the data and how they can utilize it, and essentially just go over what does the data mean, what are we doing here in the community, and helping those business owners understand why is a good thing for that new foot traffic to come in, but more importantly, what we can do for those business owners in that setting is just hear out all of the challenges that they go through day in and day out and help them understand first and foremost how the Buxton partnership and the Buxton data can absolutely be applied and to help them overcome those challenges and issues that they're going through. So in that specific example, we actually went out to Kearney, Nebraska, and essentially sat down with about 50 different business owners in one room and went over, everything that we're bringing to the table, what does the data mean to their brand, and then just opened it up for their questions and their concerns. Every business owner has their own challenges that they go through, especially in a downtown market versus your outskirts of town. So we sat down and went through all the challenges that they had and essentially helped them understand that here's the data that can be applied to those challenges and how we can help you to overcome that challenge. So absolutely, that is absolutely part of what we do, and it is included in the overall Buxton investment.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Everybody?
Oh, all right. Thank you, Cody. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Well, thank you all for the time this morning. I hope it was very beneficial. If anybody has any questions, concerns, please feel free to give me a shout anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Cody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where are they out of? Texas.
So did I bring this up at the last meeting, the first EA meeting I attended?
I don't know.
I don't know if we did, I brought it up at the last council meeting. But this was kind of Teresa was looking into this as one of the thoughts in my head over the last 3-4 months is preparing for this. But the idea of economic development in Cass, and in the past we've had a city planner position. That was my understanding was what the main part of that job was to help with that type of thing, and I don't know if we were getting that necessarily or not, or that was the role, because the role probably morphed into more other things. But since we're looking at how to go forward from there, one of the thoughts is to entertain the idea, and the council's gonna bring this back at our work session on March 4th to decide if this is something we want to go forward with or not. But this would be a specific contract for a specific period of time with that specific goal in mind. A set of skills that we need to identify what is the data. And I really liked how this company focused on not only bringing new business to town, which is important, but it was more of, first, let's make sure we're strong here so everybody gets the same data and can become stronger. And then if our needs change in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, we don't need this contract with this particular company, we can go to something different, or we're fine with the staff that we have, versus backfilling a position, having everything that comes with that employee, and if our needs change and their skills aren't with what our needs are, do we let an employee go, or do we have them do something that they're not good at. So, the idea was to get more focused on it, you know, what is it that we need as a community? If everybody agrees that that's what we need, then we can spend our dollars more wisely and more focused versus in general. So that was kind of where this is coming from, and I think it would give us some pretty specific data to make decisions. I liked how they'd come in and sit down with, you know, the individual businesses who might be saying, hey, that's great, this data's great, but how does it apply to them? Because if we can make everybody that's here stronger and attract some new people, it's only gonna make the whole thing stronger. So, does that?
Yeah, that pretty much, is it in a nutshell, except for that I suppose folks are wondering about the cost.
Oh, yeah, so it's a 3-year contract, $50,000 per year, but at the end of any year, we can say, we aren't getting out of this what we thought we'd get out of it, and it's done. There's no strings attached, there's nothing to it. So
No buyout or?
Nope, it's a 3-year commitment, I don't even know why they call it 3-year
He
commitment.
calls it a 50-50-50.
Yeah, so
So-
it's 50 a year, and then we can stop at the end of any year. And they can also stop at the end of any year, they could just say, hey, you know, we've done what we can do for you, there's really not much else we can do for you. I don't know why they would do that.
But, right.
But you look at the cost versus employee, not, you know, and we get the focus and get the actual data out of it.
And the one-on-one with the local business is good too.
Right. So, it's just a matter of the full council here, a presentation, a longer presentation at our work session on March 4th, which everybody's welcome to attend at the Public Works facility that morning, 8 to 12, so.
Yep. And we'll, come up with a specific time frame for Cody that morning too,
Yes.
so if you just wanna like drop in from 9 to 9:30 or something, we'll know that Cody will be doing his presentation.
How did they know I buy a 12-pack of Nickel?
Your credit card.
It's your Visa card, like what you, where you swiped it and
Right.
what.
They don't know exactly.
I'm using cash.
I know, it's.
That sounds easy.
No, right?
But they only know it by zip code, they don't know it by your individual house.
Right.
You know, it's just the zip code, so they know it,
The code tied to your card.
they're tied to your card, so they know if you're using your credit card in Rochester or Owatonna and you're buying beer or groceries, why aren't you buying it local? What are you buying different? And
That
that's,
you could be buying.
that you could be buying at Irvin's
Right.
or the liquor store, or, so they're trying to tie it in to get it back to the local.
Mhm.
But it's not, doesn't follow you exactly,
It's
just.
amazing the information they get from those credit cards.
I.
It's always.
But everybody
It's
uses
scary.
them, everybody
I
got,
know.
you know.
I think one of the biggest challenges is gonna be with this is getting the community to know about it, you know. The liquor store has 12-pack of beer cheaper than they do in Rochester, you know, how are you gonna get that so they don't have to drive to Rochester?
And that's one of the
Oh.
biggest challenges we have as far as
Right.
engaging the community. And part of that comprehensive plan process that we just talked about a second ago was, a lot of it's gonna come down to that. It's gonna
Right.
come down to a foot campaign, really. It's going out to find people, where they already are. You know, to say, hey, we're gonna have a meeting and go over something, that, we'll get 12 people. The people are busy. But if you go, the suggestion from the gentleman from the company we talked to, you know, he says you have to find, that's why it's an 8 to 12 month process, education process, is you have to find them where they already are. So if they're at
The park, or
the park, a softball tournament or a basketball tournament, go set up something in the entryway, the festival in the park, the county
high
fair.
school during.
Yeah, so it's, getting the community, that's a struggle for every business, you know, it's amazing when you hear that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I buy all my liquor in Rochester because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
And the profits stay here, right? So that's the, how do we?
Right, exactly. Re-educate.
Yeah.
Which means, you know, after work too, because the greater majority of the population
Works
commutes
it.
back
Works,
and forth,
yeah.
so the only time you're gonna catch them is,
Right.
you know, when they're here and they've already maybe bought
And that was
on the way home.
one of the
or on
conversations we
way
had with
home.
the Boysenteen group about the
Right.
comp plan.
And with Quick Trip, I mean, this doesn't have anything to do with this, you'll all have people come in and say, I'm gonna get my gas in Byron because it's 3 cents cheaper. Okay, you're gonna drive there.
But
to
they're
get
already
it.
going towards Rochester
Yeah.
too, some of them.
Well, some of them, yeah, but still, I mean,
not
Here, I'll
about,
give-
it's not about their time, it's not about
Nope.
the
Yeah.
inconvenience, it's all
I know.
about 2 pennies, you know, or
It
Yeah.
is.
whatever.
It really is. People
Right,
will look
right.
at that.
If you're the only one in town, you know, liquor store, grocery store, or whatever, if you're the only one in town,
Gas
you're too high priced.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Quick Trip has a monopoly over in Caston, so, you know, we can't spend our money there.
Well, and people do see that Quick Trip in Dodge Center or Byron or even like Pine Island today was $2.21. It dropped 8 cents. You know, they were 3 cents higher or 4 cents higher, and then also now they're 8 cents cheaper. It's like, I don't know how that figured.
Actually, Dodge Center was $2.28 this morning, you're cheaper than that, aren't you? Okay.
I just put gas.
I know, because
But
for
you-
8 gallons of gas,
That's
that's
a kind of
24
mind
cents.
frame that we're
Yeah.
gonna have
That's-
to work to get.
that's the
Right.
hard-
I don't know how you're gonna do that.
It's like,
I
you'll
mean-
drive to Byron to save 24 cents.
But some people won't care, they'll just buy it. Some do, they just,
Well, you just figure, what's my time worth? It's worth way more than trying to chase down
They
the
don't do that
cheapest gallon of gas.
calculation,
no.
Hmm?
They don't do that calculation, though.
No,
It's
they
more-
don't.
They don't.
I just put gas in when my car says I need gas.
Right,
I just-
exactly, cause I have done
see
the
you
thing in
like
my
twice a
head
week, I
going,
just put gas
how
in.
far would I go to save 40 cents?
And I know some people, you get the text saying it's 7 cents or what. There's people that'll just pump their gas at the pump, cause they don't wanna go into the store to save, you know, and then they
To
complain.
use the coupon or whatever,
Yeah, then
yeah.
they complain, you know. So, that'll be the next thing, they'll figure out a way that,
Use
they
your
can-
coupon at the pump.
yeah, that'll be next, you watch.
But
Well,
that's
except for-
that's a smartphone, you know, that's probably the
These guys
biggest
are gonna
challenge.
take care of that.
They're gonna assist us with that.
It's not a guarantee, but I mean, they can do their best, but.
They're gonna
Right,
assist
we'll
us with
see.
the data, and then
Yeah.
it's gonna.
It's like re-educating the public that.
You gotta
Yeah.
start with the younger public sometimes, but some of them, that don't work either, but, cause
Yeah.
the millennials in this world, some don't even care about this, some care about that, you know, they're actually a harder one to group, to figure out. Or
Yeah.
hire them for work, one will like, I don't care about health insurance, and the next one, they want it, and the next one's like, I'm gonna take 6 months off and go hike the Alps. Why? I don't care. You know, that's just how that's the millennial mindset. It's really,
Well, tomorrow,
I'm sure you
tomorrow,
see it a lot.
yeah.
They might not even come to work 'cause, I don't, you know.
There's plenty of jobs out there, they
Well, like
can-
my daughter, she's 20, at the time I was 20 when this happened, and for Christmas I give them each extra $50 and I tell them to pay it forward. And give it to someone or pay someone's bill or something. She come in Quick Trip one day and she had tears running down her face. I said, what's the matter? She goes, that $50? I said, yeah. She goes, I used it. I said, okay, what did you use it on? She goes, I put $10 worth of gas in my car and then I went to Walmart and got groceries. I said, you mean you could've put $5 in and then went to Erdman's and then you wouldn't have had that? Well, it's cheaper at Walmart, and I'm like, oh my God. And I just like.
Need a gas at Casey's.
Wow.
And I just,
Don't you go to Byron for it?
I just don't get it, and you try to explain it to her and it just.
It's tough, you gotta,
It's the education part of it's the challenge we have with everything in the community, though.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it comes down to that, is everybody lives in Casson for a reason. Some people say, well, they can't move because they can't afford it, okay, there's a percentage of that. But then there are people who have moved here, I mean, 3,000 people live here, more live here now than did in 1990. So they're here for a reason, it's just that the moment they moved in, they valued something here that got them to move here, spend money, buy a house, educate their kids, and now it's how do you reconnect back with what that was that brought you here, that, yeah, I do value the small community. We just had this with Todd, I asked the question, we talked about electric utility and territories and that, and I said, well, is it less expensive to the end user to have Casson be the public utility, or are we better off just going to Excel or whatever? Well, at the end of the day, the profits from the public utility stay in town or are reinvested in town. But I don't think a lot of people look at it that way. It's, you know, your cost is the same or a little bit less, but all the profits that the public utility has are reinvested back into the town doing something. So, how do we do that?
Well,
if
like
you look at it,
He
city-
brought it up about the kids, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
even having something about the high school, I mean, no,
Yeah.
and
You
then
gotta-
them to go home and tell their parents that, hey,
some listen though, I mean, it does help.
I mean.
You gotta actually start, well, I mean, they're teaching kids to use technology in kindergarten already, just to get them ready, you know, where you've got parents, some parents and grandparents that still don't know how to turn on the TV, almost, you know?
I get them all the time that say, well, I don't even have a computer.
Yep,
Why do I need a computer?
Yeah.
In banking, that's where everything's going.
yeah.
Yeah, everything's
They've
going.
kinda left themselves out, yet, you know,
You got-
that's the only way they're gonna get in.
You got businesses that will do direct deposit, and you have people that are still against that, and it's like, just to the point where.
So this 50,000 sounds expensive,
Yes,
and how's that gonna get funded, I guess, is a question.
I was gonna ask that too.
Utilities.
You know, to meet with
EDA.
them, to meet with them,
It's right there.
again, one-on-one, or, you know, business people with him, I'd like to do that yet, without spending any money, but, you know, after 35 years, I've spent plenty of money for professional advice that
Doesn't always work?
most often hasn't worked.
right,
Sometimes it does, you know, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a skeptic, but you know, you gotta,
right,
you're at that point where something's gotta change, I mean, something's gotta happen, otherwise,
yeah.
you know, my doors might be closed someday.
Right, so I think Cody's point, though, is that it's data, it's not advice. It's data that you can use to make decisions about how
How
to
you-
change your business model or meet the needs of the consumers who are leaving your service area. But it's actually the data, so, you know, you might find out that folks are going to Costco because they think buying 78 rolls of toilet paper is the way to go, and if you just had 78 roll packs, you know, they wouldn't have to go there or
The-
something.
The other tough
Right.
part too, though, is Amazon. People sit in front of a computer all day. For Amazon Prime,
Mhm.
it's $100 a year, and they deliver your toilet paper, your groceries, they deliver to their house. People
Right,
don't even
so you
have.
might find that out too, right?
know.
Right.
So
It'll
that's,
be
I
the
think that's where,
data.
you know, a lot of,
Yeah,
my issue is, you know, technology, and that's
Right.
just that.
Yeah, I mean, somebody can just go like this and click, it comes to the house, they can be running around doing something with their family, or,
yep,
and then they go home and there it's sitting. You see it with more and more, and it's hard.
right.
But yet people in town still want that local spot they run to get that one item or two items they forgot, you know? But you can't, how do you keep your doors open?
We're,
Right.
we're the best store around when there's a blizzard coming in, and
Yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday was really
Where did everybody
good.
come from? It's like, why don't
Wow.
you come every week?
Right.
People are gripes, you know.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Well, as far as paying for it,
Yeah.
in the budget, we have budgeted for 2017, a position that we have empty. We have much more than that cost. So the idea was, as we get more into detail with Cody from Buxton and the council talks about it, if that's the direction we wanna say, let's try that for a year versus hiring an employee. Pros and cons of that, you know, what are the pros and cons? And, you know, just on the surface, some of the pros, it's a contract, at the end of the year, you don't like it, it's done. There's no tail, there's no unemployment, there's no work comp, there's no benefits, that type
Yeah,
of
the
thing.
benefits.
But it's also, you get information back in the first 60 days. So we're gonna get, if council decides to go that direction, and we do it, within 60 days, you get your initial data back, and they're on the ground helping provide the data to give us enough feedback so that before the end of the first year, you know if this is something that's of value or not. So that by the time we're budgeting for 2018, we can make a decision on that. So that was my you know, when he,
Right.
cause I was wondering when we first met with him, well, how long does it take to get the data back if you don't get it back for 11 months? And we wanna be, you know, say it's not right, you know, no, it's within, he said 60, but it's been as soon as 45. So we would have that whole first year, basically, or 10 months to evaluate, is this of value or not? And you get the feedback from the individual businesses, and, you know, they arrange meetings with potential people that would wanna come to town, you know, so.
Yeah, so they would actually then, when they have identified who, might be a good fit for us, they prepare the letters that we then send out to say, this is the data about our town, this is what we know, this is how we would be a good fit.
And we got lots here and here, do they fit, you
Right.
know, we know your size business needs this size lot, and
Right.
it's kinda, it'd be a good tool, I think. just
So that's
something.
where if it would go through, that's for the budgeting mechanism for that.
we just hired a new, company a couple weeks ago out of Chicago to do an app for Erdman's, and
Oh.
it's collecting data, RSA, or I don't remember what, and they're gonna do some of that, sounds like some of the same stuff is, they're gonna tell us, you know, age groups, what they're buying, I mean, but you still have to have people buy into it, you know,
Yes.
and if they don't wanna share, you know, get on the program or share that information.
Well, if they're taking it from your credit card, you're giving the information to them right away anyway.
Yeah, and you don't know
There's
it.
no way, yeah, you don't know it.
So we're kind of excited about that, but.
Oh, good.
Is that the app you're talking about on your,
Yeah.
that you got down there?
Yeah.
When
And
you
we're,
can go on and,
we can target our shortfalls possibly.
yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
So you go on your smartphone and go to the
But
app
you know,
store and,
I still say my location isn't the best, parking lot is not big enough, store's not modern enough, you know. If you could plunk the new Hy-Vee into town here, I think I could keep more people in town shopping, but,
I've been into that new Hy-Vee.
well, it's too big, but.
Too big.
I got lost.
Yeah.
It's
And
way too
the
big.
layout of the store was terrible. But I had to look.
Yeah, actually, like from my perspective, I prefer your size store.
Well, and
Yeah, me too.
a lot of people do, I mean, they.
Yeah.
But I grew up in it, so I
So,
know
yeah,
exactly where everything
everything is, and it's like.
Yeah, don't move it.
They still move
That's
it.
the worst.
they just move stuff.
I was Miles flip-flop. Here's my map when I grew up.
No kidding, I went to a store that they remodeled. I went in, I couldn't find one, I was in a hurry, I turned around and left.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm done,
Done.
I ain't got time for
Never
this.
went back.
No, I went back, but I'm like, I don't have time for this today. But it's, they do it, I know why stores do it, is to get you to wander the store and look for other, and then,
See some things.
then you see something else. and-
But on the negative side of this all is like same with Mike and me and Quick Trip. That's the last thing I want is another gas station to come into town and take away from me.
Yeah.
And
Right,
how
right.
is this gonna affect businesses in town to
Well-
feel comfortable, but
But
I
there's
know.
ways to do it, I mean, something that I have seen before, like in Mankato at Hy-Vee's or a grocery store, you know, some kind of virtual grocery store. I can go on in my lunch hour and go, this is what I need, blah, 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 I'll be there at 5, it's all there. I don't have to do it and spend another hour walking through the grocery store where I run into everybody who wants to chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other thing
You work
with
for the
this-
city, don't you?
Yeah, the other thing they're doing with this is they're telling you what people
Right.
are buying in town.
Right.
And if you don't have it, now get it before another store comes to town. Cause then people will go there to get it, is what they're trying to do, they're trying to help you realize that you don't have this item that everybody wants.
So to go back to Julie's question,
Yeah.
and I think he maybe mentioned it, maybe the last time we talked about
Right.
it. Their goal is to give us the data so that then
Right.
we can market ourselves to other businesses. We wouldn't necessarily market ourselves to another gas station company, you know, so it's basically to try to match, not to
Right,
bring in
because we
competing
would-
businesses, it's more to complement, here's what we have, here's what people are leaving for, here's a list of 15 businesses that fit your data profile that would complement what you already have. Cause we don't wanna start
Oh.
duplicating things, that doesn't make your
Plus-
business community strong.
Plus, if your business isn't big enough, you either expand it or, you know, they're saying, you know, this gives you a chance to expand, to get what you need, so another one doesn't come in, and now other businesses are gonna go, oh, Quick Trip's already got 75% of it, we don't wanna put one there, cause we're gonna struggle. So it helps
Yeah. and
strengthen
then-
yours and keeps other people from coming, cause some people will come to town thinking they can run the market and then find out they can't.
Well, they always say, you know, Taco Bell or Taco John's in town here, you know.
I hear it all the time.
Taco
Taco
anything.
Bell.
Taco anything.
Yeah.
Taco anything.
I hear it all the time,
If I
but-
had the money, I
My kids
I
are just
don't
killing
know.
me.
Yours too?
My kids want it all the time.
I know,
Tell your
And then,
kids,
so
close
put-
and then they won't
put
want
your-
it anymore.
Yeah, put yourself in Burger King's hands, and they're like, oh, great. We
Right.
got more competition, less people come into here.
But I still don't eat at Burger King, so.
Yeah, me either.
Right, right.
So, I eat at Taco Bell,
Right.
but I don't eat at Burger King, so. So, you know, it might keep people in town, cause I've driven to Rochester just to get Taco Bell, and then when I'm there,
Yes,
now I get other stuff.
yeah,
That's
that's the
the-
kind of thing that
See, that's what
you'll
this'll
start
help.
to, right, start to get
I'm
at.
gonna drive 20 miles to go get some taco, well, I might as well get something else while I'm here. So that's
Yeah.
the mentality, and it's surprisingly more out there than you think.
So if anybody has any feedback on
Mhm.
this throughout, and you think of something in a week or two or a day or two, just shoot us an email, cause we'll be talking about it at the March 4th planning session
Mhm.
to make a decision, so.
I like that idea of it, you know, after a year, it's not,
Doing what you want.
Yeah, and we can,
Accomplishing what we needed to.
yeah, we can cut
Yeah.
bait, move on to something different, or take a break, or, you know, decide what it is that didn't work about it, and what do we really need.
or if we got enough information, we don't need anymore.
Right, that's
He's gonna be in town.
Mhm.
On March
That's
fourth.
why they
On
got
March
it.
fourth.
Yep.
And that's what time, 9 to?
If
Between 8 and noon, I'm not sure when he's gonna be
Tomorrow
there.
could be this.
Exactly.
And it's
Right.
different than what you
Send an
had.
email out.
We'll send something
Refresh
to the whole
it,
EDA
yeah.
window that.
Come back.
Yeah, as soon as we know when he's gonna be here, we can
Yeah.
send it to the whole EDA.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can pass it around to
definitely.
people that.
Yeah.
Like John, I'll be gone then, but, I'll be gone the next meeting.
Okay,
John
okay,
might be
gotcha.
available to listen in on that.
Is there anything else? Shall we make a motion to adjourn?
So we'll.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
All right.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Good job.
Cheesecake.
You can do it next time too.
These are easy.
Call in phone
Chris,
service.
Nobody
I
calls
had
you,
a
they yell at you here.
Couple answers for you, so I printed up these, house bills. The difference between the two is how they would be funded. This makes me a little nervous, because does that mean that we would get less LGA for general fund expenses? And-
Yeah, I just saw there talking about.
Right,
giving
and this one was,
credit.
this one would come from the